In this training video, I'm going to cover how to create a light regulatory action. And so when I say the word light, I'm using air quotes as well, because this is for a regulatory action that we are trusting the registration manager to know, does not have a lot of supporting documents, and does not need a lot of documentation. And so for this specific example, we're talking about the product transfers from Bear to InView. And so the most important data that needs to be captured is the registration certificate needs to be uploaded and attached to the regulatory action. The approval date needs to be documented. And then if any product names are changed, product involvements are changed, registration numbers are changed, those also need to be documented as well. So we want to do this light version of a regulatory action for this sort of process. We also want to note that during this process, you will more than likely be touching all of your registrations, and because of that, it's a really good time to audit your products. So take the time to look through your products in Viva and make sure they all are there and the data looks clean and accurate. If the data does not look clean, you can make those edits. If something is missing, please contact someone on the Viva team and we will assist you with that. So we're going to begin here with the registration section, and we'll filter. If I was working on, I know that Germany just got their registrations approved, so we'll use those as an example. So we'll filter for Germany. And let's choose R421 for our example. So the first step that I would recommend is to go in and take a look and see that the information looks accurate for this registration. Check the dossiers, see that everything looks like it has been migrated. Check the current existing regulatory actions, see that they look right. And then you will need to create a new regulatory action. So the first step to this process will be creating a new regulatory action, and you will select entity change, product transfer. This is crucial to this process. This is what will be linked back to the Bear transfer SharePoint site, so the collaborative SharePoint site. This is how we are going to link the two data points together. Now, for this is all you have to do. So this is literally 2 steps. You have to create a regulatory action, select this for your process. You do not need a dossier or a binder structure if all you are doing is the entity change or product transfer, and you do not believe that you have a lot of additional documents that need to be attached. If you do have additional documents that need to be attached to this sort of action, just select general documents without binder, and then you can do that as well. Okay, so now we have our regulatory action for the entity change. I have allowed the system to push regulatory actions for this specific process directly through to the approved state to save time for the registration managers, because most of these regulatory actions have already been submitted. So I know if I was acting as the registration manager for Germany, these have already been submitted and they've actually already been approved. So I would be creating it now and then trying to change the state to approve directly. I would say they got approved on the 14th. And you're going to notice there's going to be an error box that's going to pop up. This error box is saying that there is no received documents in the system. You have to upload your registration certificate, registration confirmation letter saying that this has been approved before you can move this to submitted, or approved, I'm sorry. So now we need to go to the received document section and add a received document. So if it's already in the system, you can select it here. If not, we're going to create it and upload it. So you can see I've selected the document and uploaded it as a certificate registration confirmation. I'm going to then fill out my metadata. So for the metadata, I filled in the date, the for use in country and the territory, as well as the language, the issuing organization, the product, and then the regulatory action is automatically filled in. I'm going to hit save. So the received documents now has our registration confirmation here, and I now can move the regulatory action directly to approved without moving it through the submitted status. I can enter the approval date, and the regulatory action will be moved to approved. The next thing that will need to be done is go back to the registration section. So we're now back in R421. And if the registration number has changed for the product or the product name because of the product transfer, that information needs to be updated. If not, all you need to update is the product involvement. So you will create a new use, a new object here, function, and this will be based on the situation. If we are now the registration holders, you would select registration holders, but you are creating the product involvement based on the company. So as the company, what is the involvement with this product? So we are the registration holder, and so this will be the environmental science 2022, and then if any of these are missing, please contact someone from the team and these can be added for you. And then the same with the contact name and contact email. This is the contact name and contact email associated with the company. So if you select marketing or distributor, then you'll be selecting a third-party company, and this should be the contact name and the contact email for that third party. But since in this case we are selecting the registration holder, I'm going to put myself. There we go, and that should be all you need to do. We now have an approved action status, action process of the entity name change, and we have updated the product involvement to state that the involvement for the company for this product is the new Environmental Science 2022, which I know that's not the right company there, but we will have to update those in the system, and this is the testing environment.